Today we will learn how to customize an action to send a message to Microsoft Teams and then create a playbook using that action. We will do this by customizing our own action to send a message to Microsoft Teams. And what we'll require from the team side of things is a URL to send an API call to. It's easy to configure an incoming webhook in Microsoft Team. All you need to do is choose the channel that you want the message coming in, a name and an image, and that will generate a URL for you that you can add as part of your action or your playbook to send out the message. And that's all that's required from the team side. And now we can head back to our Prism Central and go ahead and customize an action that can send a message to Microsoft Teams. We will go ahead and clone one of our out-of-the-box actions. In this case, this will be the REST API action so that we can customize it and add our own specifics to use for our playbook. We'll change the name of the playbook and maybe add a short description as well. We'll also need to change the method to a post method since it will be a post request we'll be sending out. The main piece that needs to be added is the URL that we got from the webhook from Teams. And since we probably want to send a message to Microsoft Teams, we can add a small template for the request body. And now we have our own customized action that can send a message to Microsoft Teams with the description and the action type. The only thing left to do is go and add this as part of a playbook. In this example, we want to create a playbook that sends a message to Microsoft Teams every time a VM is constrained for either CPU or memory. So we'll choose the alerts matching criteria option and specify our alert policies that we want the playbook to be triggered for: memory constraint and CPU constraint. And since we only have the one cluster in this demo, we'll leave that as it is. We'll go ahead and add the action we just created, which is send message to Microsoft Teams. And the only thing that we need to add to this action is the text body to specify the message that we want to send out to Microsoft Teams. So we'll choose some of the parameters such as source entity, which would be the VM name in this case, and the alert name to tell the user what exact alert and what VM it went off on. And now we'll just add a name to the playbook and make sure we enable it before saving it. And now just the last step, which is simulating an alert for that VM so that our playbook can be triggered and we can see the actions take place and the message sent out to Microsoft Teams. So it looks like the alert's been generated. If we go to take a look at the channel we had on Teams, you can see that they just got a message with the VM name and the alert name informing us that the VM is constrained for memory. And if you go back to the Prism Central, we can actually go into the playbook and look at the last play that just ran and take a look at the details to make sure that everything went right the way it was supposed to be. That is all that we had as part of our DNO series today. Stay tuned for our next post.